Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to the Mixer and a video that I am very excited to make. I have been wanting to do this video for quite a while, just never really knew how to structure it, you know. And in case you guys don't know, if you're new on the channel, the Mixer is the segment where I give you guys detailed information about stuff around the world, you know, whether it's like world records, history, biology, geography, you know, science, all that stuff, you know. And today I'm going to be talking about something that I first found out when I was reading Ripley's Believe It or Not, one of his editions, you know, of his book when I was a kid, and I came across a photo of this and it really scared me. And as the years went by, I started to do more and more research, you know. I just thought it was really cool and I'm really excited to finally do it here on my channel. I'm going to be talking about the tallest human being ever to have lived. That's right, the Giant of Illinois, the Alton Giant, the Gentle Giant, everything giant this guy had nicknames for, you know. Robert Pershing Wadlow. Okay, or Wadlow. I'm gonna call him Wadlow because I just feel like it, okay? So, this guy was, to call him a little tall is like calling it's like calling the ocean a little bit wet, you know. This guy was really freaking big, you know, and at the time that he died in 1940, he was at a whopping 8 feet and 11 inches tall. And he weighed 439 pounds. Wow, this guy, I mean, it's kind of hard for you to imagine a human being this size, and he still to this day is the tallest person ever, you know. Nobody who has been alive since him has ever come. There might have been a few who came close, you know, like the tallest, but I think the tallest guy in the world right now isn't really, he doesn't get all the way up there, you know. And it's actually really scary how Robert works, you know, because he grew up in, he was raised in Alton, Illinois, which is a little town near St. Louis, Missouri, you know, just one of those rural places there. He lived way back in the day, you know, and the thing is that he had this very strange growth hormone called I don't know, this human growth hormone, the HGH or whatever, you know, that made him grow abnormally tall from a certain age onward. And as you guys are going to see, he actually started out pretty normally, but when he became a little bit, he just became at some point when he was a little kid, he started to grow exponentially and didn't stop. And it's kind of scary because at the time of his death, there was no indication that he had stopped growing. So if he was still alive, if he had lived another 5 or even 10 years, I don't know, man. It's really scary, you know. How the hell does a person like this even walk? It's like Ant-Man when he gets all big, you know. It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, he had this thing called hypertrophy of his pituitary gland, which results in a really abnormally high level, you know, of the growth hormone. So, yeah, it's a little bit frightening. And I don't even know, like, I'm going to want to show photos of him, but I don't know if they're even going to fit. That was a bad joke, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to crop them. It's just getting worse. I'm gonna try to show you guys here a few photos of him. I don't know if I'll be able to get, you know, colored photos. There are some colored ones that were remastered, but the majority are in black and white. But let's just take a look at some photos of him right now, and brace yourselves, because this is not gonna be easy to see. Oh my god, try to imagine you standing next to somebody that freakishly tall, you know. I mean, I would be scared. I'm afraid of big things, that's what she said. But okay, like, all kidding aside, it would be really intimidating, you know, because this guy, like, I'm actually surprised he never tried to play basketball, because honestly, if he tried to, I don't think it would be fair to the NBA. But then again, the NBA didn't exist back then. The NBA was formed in 1946, so yeah, scratch that. So, in 1936, he actually began touring with the Ringling Brothers Circus, you know, no surprise there, you know. He was, you know, introduced as the tallest man in the world at the time, and he actually was, and since then, nobody has ever surpassed him, you know. And despite the circus wanting him to wear a top hat and, you know, those little tails in the back here, he just wanted to use his everyday clothes, you know. It's actually funny because he was seen more as just a regular person than the freak, you know. People, of course, stared at him, but he wasn't really considered like a genetic mutation or anything. You know, he was just a regular guy who was really tall. In 1938, he actually signed a deal with this international shoe company that gave him shoes free of charge. And get this guy's shoe size in the United States was 37. In Europe, that's 75, buddy. Oh my God, if this guy kicks you anywhere in your body, you're dead. Like if he steps on your foot, you die. You know, it's really, really, really freaking scary how it works, man, you know? And they just gave him the shoes free of charge, you know? He was doing their promotional tour with this shoe company, you know? And it's really scary looking at the photo, you know, compared side by side to a regular, like an American size 12 is like, it looks like a baby shoe compared to his regular shoe, you know? Unfortunately, he would actually die 2 years later, but we're gonna get into that later, you know. Let's talk about his height chart here, you know, which is actually really scary. When he was born, he had a normal height and weight for an average newborn, you know, everything is okay. However, when he was 1 year old, you know, more or less, when he began to walk, he was 3 feet and 3.5 inches tall and weighed 40 pounds. Yeah, that's not normal, dude. That's not normal, you know. He was about he was about 3 feet and 6 inches tall when he was 1. Now, what I read was when he was 11 months old. Let's fast forward to when he was 5 years old, okay? He was at 5 feet and 6.5 inches freaking tall, okay? And while he was attending kindergarten, you know, he was wearing clothes that would fit a 17-year-old boy when he was 5, you know? And holy freaking crap, man. And I don't know if I said this, but he weighed 140 pounds, you know? In case I haven't said it, you know what, man? Let me start again. Okay, so he was born, normal height, normal weight, okay? When he was 1 year old, he was 3 feet 6 inches tall and weighed 45 pounds, okay? And then when he was 5, he had already grown to 5 feet 6.5 inches tall and weighed 140 pounds. And for perspective, his clothes would fit a 17-year-old boy. When he was 9 years old, he was 6 feet and 2.5 inches tall and weighed 180 pounds. Okay, so he was strong enough to carry his father, who was sitting in a chair, up the stairs to the 2nd floor when he was 9. Okay, fast forward to when he was 13. Now we're at 7 feet 14 inches tall and 270 pounds that he weighed. He was the world's tallest Boy Scout, and he was growing about 4 inches or 10 centimeters per year, more or less, you know. And at this point, he was wearing size 19 shoes in the United States. Fast forward to when he was 17. Oh God, that breeze feels so good. Stop blowing. My paper over there is blowing. 17 years old, 8 feet 3 inches tall. Okay, and 382 pounds he weighed. He graduated from high school before he was 18, by the way, in 1936. And when he was 17, he was the height of Sultan Kuzan, who right now is the tallest person alive at the time of recording this video. When he was 17, he was the height of the guy who today is an adult and who was the tallest person alive. Jesus Christ, man. So then when he was 22, you know, nearly 22 and a half, which is when he died, he was 8 feet and 11 inches tall, and he weighed, like I said before, 439 pounds, okay? So he was the tallest man in the world according to the Guinness World Records. He died on June 27th, 1940. My God, man. This kid's growth rate is like, I think it's at the rate that, I don't know, I breathe or something. Jeez, let's look at something else here. Maybe some more photos, a video if I can. I think there are videos of him. I've seen a clip of him once, you know, crouching through a door. Let's see if I can just insert something here.
2 into 1, do go. Here's the owner, Robert Wadlow of Chicago, who at the ripe old age of 17 stands 8 feet 4 inches in his socks, and incidentally seems to be quite beyond the reach of young women. Every time young Robert goes through a doorway, he scores a duck. And this is Robert's father, a mere dwarf of 6 feet.
Alrighty then, let's get right back into it here, huh? So, on July 4th, 1940, he was actually working at a festival, you know, I guess, advertising himself and his height. Unfortunately, a faulty brace started to irritate his ankle, which eventually led to an infection. He had to go to the hospital. Even though he was given a blood transfusion and underwent surgery, you know, there was this autoimmune disorder that caused his condition to worsen, and unfortunately, on July 15th, he died in his sleep, you know. And I said before that he died on June 27th, but that was actually not, that was incorrect. That's probably when he was measured to be 8 feet and 11 inches tall. He actually died on July 15th, you know, and it's really sad, you know, because I mean, the guy, he actually used leg braces a lot, and he never used a wheelchair, because guys, it must be really hard. You know, just looking at the photos, you can imagine it must be really hard for a guy like this to walk around. You know, he had to wear a cane, use a cane at one point, I think, you know, and it's really tough. You know, we look at him and see this guy really tall, really cool, must be awesome to be that big, you know, but it comes with health risks, you know, and some problems for locomotion. So, and his coffin actually measured 10 feet and 9 inches long, man, you know. Wait, what? His coffin was 10 feet 9 inches long. Okay, there we go, that's the right thing to say. And 2 feet 8 inches wide, you know, so it was a pretty damn big coffin. You can probably still see it today, you know. And also it was 2 feet and 6 inches deep, and it weighed over 1,000 freaking pounds. So damn near half of his weight, that double his weight, you know. And it actually had to be carried, get this, by 12 pallbearers and 8 other assistants. Jesus Christ, man. So he was buried at Oakland Cemetery, you know, Oakwood Cemetery in Illinois. And actually, if you go to the Alton Museum of History and Art, you know, there's actually a life-size statue of him that's erected opposite of it today. It was erected in 1986, you know, and it's actually life-size, man. You go there, you look up at that statue, that's really how tall this guy was. I would love to see this statue. I think there's also a sculpture of him at Madame Tussauds Museum, probably in Illinois or wherever the hell the main Madame Museum is, you know. It's really scary, man, because looking at a sculpture or a statue, it's different than actually seeing the real thing there moving and talking, you know. Everything about this guy was huge, you know. His face and his hands, his limbs, you know, his feet, everything was just so big. And it's really scary because when he was a kid, he was already taller than his dad, you know, as a full-grown adult. So, and it's just nothing has ever indicated why he specifically grew to be so gigantic, you know, why his body specifically was affected by this growth hormone, you know. But it's really frightening. To me, it's really freaking frightening, man, you know, and I just, good Lord. He actually enrolled in college at one point with the intention of studying law, so he wanted to be a lawyer. Imagine this guy in the courtroom, like defending somebody. If I'm the guy who he's going against, I would give up for fear that he would step on me. I would be like, you know what, man, even if I wasn't guilty, look, I did it, okay, whatever it is, just cuff me, take me away. I don't want to deal with this guy. Get me the hell out of here, man, you know. And if I was being defended by him, what an honor that would be. He would intimidate by size alone, you know. But I gotta hand it to Robert, you know, even though he had everything to become a circus freak and make a lot of money off of that, you know, like if P.T. Barnum had ever gotten a hold of him, that would have been a different story. Despite this, despite being famous around the world for being so big, he still decided to be a normal guy and dress in regular clothes, usually a suit and tie. He was really well dressed, you know, and, you know, just wanted to be a lawyer. He wanted to work with law and contribute to society. So I really respect him for that, you know. And I also think that it's time to end it here, guys. I don't really know what else I can say, you know. I've covered pretty much everything here on my cheat sheet, you know. To this day, you know, there is irrefutable evidence that Robert Wadlow was the tallest person alive. The guy, by the way, who I mentioned who was the tallest person today, just for perspective, Robert is 8 feet 11 inches tall, right? While Sutton is 8 feet and 2 inches tall. So, yeah. He's a Turkish farmer. There was a basketball player who I think was Russian who was just as big, but maybe not too much, because if you're 8 feet tall and you play basketball, you shouldn't be allowed to play basketball. Like, what the hell? That's like double Shaq's height almost. But anyway, that's it for now, guys. I am really hoping that you like this video. It took a good bit of research to put together. I'm excited about editing it, you know, seeing how it's going to come out. And let me know in the comments below. Give me your feedback, whether it's positive or negative. If you actually happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like and also subscribe subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, might as well also hit the notification bell too to know exactly what time I upload. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm rushing through this video. I'm talking fast. It's because I have to go to work in like a few minutes. I gotta get ready, so I just wanted to finish my third video for today. And it's all good, guys. I'm right on schedule. So that's it. What the hell's going on over there with my neighbors? Okay, this is Chazzy signing out for now. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen.